Hello there, everybody. This is Amy Wenslow. I'm going to just get our webcast started. I see we've got some people joining us on the webcast, so great. I just want to take a sec while we're getting everybody in here to say how grateful I am for all of you for joining us and really supporting the Product Business Show and letting us support you as well. I am so very, very touched. We do this show every other Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and it's our community service and our pleasure and absolute thrill to serve you with this. I've been doing the shows for about 6 years now. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on them. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about words and declaration inside your business, particularly inside a product business, and then I'll leave some time for some questions and things towards the end. So if you're on Facebook, I am watching the Facebook comments, so welcome. Type some things in there. Feel free to give hearts, shares, likes, all of that. And then if you're on the phone lines, I will actually also open up the phone lines for questions when we're ready as well. With that, let's dive in and get started. How do we create going forward, right? There's everything that happens, and then there's the how are we creating and what are we doing. I really am thinking about this a lot today, and really, really, really want to encourage all of you to make bold declarations inside your business. And by that, I mean the kind of declarations that actually scare you, that actually have you go like, holy crap, I'm not going to be able to make it if I do it the same way I've always done it for this goal. You want to actually have something that's so compelling and so juicy that you have to show up differently and be different and take different actions than you've ever taken before, because frankly, that's the best game in town, is to play your life that way. And when you watch all the recordings and the videos of anybody who's ever had a tragedy or a loved one pass or something like that, they're always saying they would want you to live, and they would want you to live fully, and they'd want you to really reach for your dreams. Well, that's what today is about, is how do you go on and make bold declarations in your business and in your life, and what's the context for that, right? Because, it's the only thing you really have. Because your life is going to unfold, and you have to actually make decisions if you want it to be different. And you have to take some actions, too. So today's context is that words have power. Your words are creative. They're creating a reality and a vision and a view of how the world is to you, okay? They have power to call you up to who you're going to be and how you're going to show up, and for you to make that a choice. That's the great news. It's a choice. There's events, yes, but how you're responding to them is absolutely your choice. What I want everybody to do to hear this is, if you're able and in a safe place, I want you to close your eyes for a quick second. And I want you to practice two different phrases. I want you to experiment with us. So really, let's close our eyes, okay? And I want you to say, I think we can try to reach the goal, okay? So just take a minute, get quiet, and say, I think we can try to reach the goal. I think we can try to reach the goal, right? Okay. Now, once you've done that a few times and you can feel how it feels in your body, I want you to say, I am clear we will reach the goal. I'm clear we will reach the goal. I am clear that we will reach the goal. Okay? And as you open your eyes, I want you to feel how each of those felt in your body, right? How they called you up or called you out. Because the reality is that that's what's happening every time you speak a sentence. It's creating a message for your body. So this, I think we can try to reach the goal phrase is so wishy-washy and lacks declarative commitment. So it will not call people up the same way that a positive action-oriented statement will. So this idea of using your words as declarative power, right, and creative power to call yourself up to something new, something different, and something vibrant inside your business is absolutely critical. The biggest example of this, right, is the President Kennedy when he said, we are going to the moon in the next 10 years. And it organized all of the resources and ignites people. The same thing happens with your team, your staff, and your market, okay? When you make a declaration that calls people up to something fun and interesting and exciting and passionate, it calls resources to you. It pulls them in, right? And the certainty that you can muster for yourself behind the statement is absolutely critical. So let's talk about why that is. Declaration and the act of declaring will actually give you direction and energy for everything that needs to happen. You do not need to know how something will happen to declare it. I declare extremely big goals, and then I say, okay, that's the goal. What could we do to get there? How can we move ourselves towards it? And that reverse engineers the goal almost, right? So you see the goal as if it's done, and then you look at how you did it. It's a kind of a mind bend, but we'll talk a little bit more about it. So the other things that declaring does for you is it draws resources, okay? So how many people have pitched their business to investors, right? Raise your hand. Figuratively here in our virtual world. If you've ever pitched your business to somebody, you have been in a declaration moment, right? Because when you pitch, you're saying what your business is going to do, what it's done already, and you're putting energy behind it such that people believe in you, right? So the power of declaration and boldness in your business is critical when you're doing pitching, okay? And this is going to be really important for people. I'm going to make a special announcement at the end of this conversation about declaration, and it's a way for you to get anywhere from $18,000 to $360,000 as a grant, okay? So this idea of declaration is because when you're in declaration, you are creating from a new place, okay? And you're creating powerfully. So there's an exercise I want everybody to do for this week, and that is I want you to pick a stretch goal. The stretch goal is one that you do not know exactly how it's going to happen, right? The things that you know how they're going to get done and you know what it's about and it's not much of a stretch aren't really what this is about. This is about creating from outside what you know in the direction of who you really, truly, authentically want to be and who you're meant to be in the world, okay? So this week, pick a stretch goal. And it's got to be something that you go like, holy, amazing, goodness, that would be awesome, right? And it's not that it's necessarily done this week, but it's leading you towards who you want to be, okay? So all of that said, you got to write it out, okay? So pick a stretch goal, write it out. It could be if you're in the film industry that you want to debut a movie at a certain film festival, right? Or if you are launching a product that you want to have certain endorsers, or that you want to make sure that you're able to follow the Tom's Shoes model of give one when somebody buys one. There's a million ways to set this up, but a stretch goal calls you up to be different, okay? To take different action and to be a new person. Because reality is that who you are right now is not the person that's going to be on the other side of achieving that goal, right? You're going to grow, you're going to evolve. That's the purpose here. It's not about the thing that you acquire. It's about the who you get to become, all right? So I want you to pick a stretch goal this week. I want you to write it out. I want you to write 3 positive declarative statements that you can get behind. and I want you to say them 3 times a day all week, okay? And when you're doing this, say it with as much conviction, emotion, and heart behind it as you can possibly muster, okay? Because you'll actually start to create a thought train that moves in that direction very, very differently and attracts other thoughts that will support you and other resources that will support you, all right? I use this all the time, and I'm going to be using it today for some goals that I want to meet today. Okay, so you can use it for whatever time frame you want. I also have it for about a 5-year time period, right? So it goes from daily out to many, many years in the future if you choose to. I believe it's the Japanese culture or the Chinese culture, they actually plan their businesses for 100 years out. Think about that. Here we are, we're like, what do you want your business to look like next month? Or you might be thinking, oh, a long-range plan, 5 years. No, there are cultures on this planet right now that the way they plan their business is for 100 years of impact and of legacy, and what do they want to be looking like 100 years from now? Think about that. Like, who does that require you to be, to throw yourself that far into the future in your business and bring it in? So it's a very, very, very enticing process. So I see we've got Bethany joining us on Facebook, so welcome. I'm glad you're loving this. When you are thinking about your words as declarative, powerful, and positive, then you watch your words differently, right? You're not going to casually throw them around and make idle commitments. No. Your words have power. They are creating a reality, and you are living into that reality every day, every moment. And so I invite you to really choose them, okay? With that, I'm going to open up the phone lines for some questions. I see we've got some people there. We've got people on Facebook, and we've got some people on webcast as well. So if you're on the phone line and you want to ask a question or say hello, where you're calling from, what you're going to do is press *2, and that'll let me know that you have a question, okay? If you're on Facebook, just type the comment in the box, and I'm watching that, and so you'll see we've got Bethany joining us, just loving this, and some other people. So, *2 if you're on the phone line, and if you're on the Facebook, you can just type it in. And then, let's see, we've got a couple of questions on the webcast. Oh, Marie is with us on the webcast. Oh, so nice to hear you again, too, Marie. It's been a very long time. I'm so glad you could join us. Marie and I met when I spoke, I think it was at the United States Patent and Trademark Office conference. I was talking about commercialization. So she's been working on her product for a long time. So Marie, thank you for stopping in and sharing part of the day. I really appreciate it. And so we're going to go back over to the conference line here. Okay, we've got more questions coming from the webcast. Marie, thank you. I see there's another comment. Oh, I love you too. You know, I look at this as this community is our community. This is our space and our time. So let's see, there's another question. Got it. Bethany's asking, she didn't quite catch the declaration challenge I issued. Did I say to pick one declaration and repeat it 3 times a day? Well, Bethany, let me run through a little bit of this again, because I know some other people missed it. So the context is that who you are and how you show up is a choice, right? And the bold declarations inside your business call you up to a larger version of yourself, to a larger version of your team, and it creates an excitement and a pull from here that adds momentum and energy to your team and to their actions, right? So the exercise, if you weren't with me when we were doing it, there's a quick one, and I want everybody who can safely do it, close your eyes and say, I think we can try to reach the goal. I think we can try to reach the goal. I think we can try to reach the goal. And feel how that feels. You know, so if you're somewhere and you need to type in an answer, feel how how did that feel to you? I think we can try to reach the goal. You know, I think we can try to reach the goal. Versus when you've got your eyes closed and you say, I'm clear we will reach the goal. I'm clear we will reach the goal. Or another version, if you really want to feel it, is I'm going to reach that goal. I am going to reach that goal. I am going to reach that goal. And then type in how that one feels. You know, when you tell yourself a positive statement, how's it feel? Does it feel more exciting? Type that in too. You know, it's a really, really important practice to stay aware of how your statements feel in your body. And I say this in the context of business because the messages that you speak to yourself are going to fuel the messages that you speak to your market, okay? They're also going to fuel any message that you say when you pitch for a grant or you talk to an investor. And you can get yourself to the place where it's not a puffed upness, not like a, oh, you know, well, I'm going to do, like swagger in a kind of icky way, but just a deep knowing that the resources that you need, the steps that you're meant to take are going to show up to you. The people you're meant to work with are going to be around you. The people that are going to cheer you on are there, and that you're going to get there, right? That's the game, is getting our energy aligned with it, okay? That's why boldness in your statements works, okay? And that's why boldness with conviction works even better, okay? That's what President Kennedy did. He had boldness with conviction added behind it because there was no doubt in his mind that we would find a way to get to the moon, okay? That we would find that thing, and that he was so intentional with it is what had it happen, right? That it inspired people to go like, whoa, okay, all right, that's where we're going, right? That's what you are inside your business, is you are a leader. If you are the founder, you are the leader, and everything in your culture of your company comes from you and stems from you and is created out of your words, commitment, and actions, okay? So there you go. There's my little soapbox about this, but I've seen it to be true over and over and over and over in my own experience and in the experiences of some of the very largest businesses. And so it's a really important practice. So if you're on the phone and you want to ask a question, you can press *2, and that'll let me know that you've got a question. We'll open up your phone line. On the webcast, you can just type them in. And over on Facebook Live, I see we've got a bunch of comments coming in. So yeah, Bethany, that first version of I think we can try to reach the goal really doesn't feel very good, does it? It's kind of like, yeah, we'll get to it maybe. But the I'm going to reach that goal feels like, okay, we're on the playing field. It's very empowering. You're right. Ariane, the same thing. You're right. It is a place to come from about the goal. That's the biggest thing I can say. Positive, bold declaration is a place to come from about any goal that you want to reach, okay? And so here's what I want everybody to do, because Bethany, I know you were asking what was the challenge I issued. The challenge is to write down one stretch goal that kind of gives you a little bit of like I don't know how I'm going to have that happen, but you're committed to it, and it sounds like that's who you want to be, right? And I want you to write it down. Just write it out. It doesn't have to be something for 1 week from now. It could be, the year from now. It could be 5 years, or you could adopt, I think it's the Japanese method where it's 100 years from now, this is what's going to have happened because you were here. because you are in this moment, because you are in this conversation, and you're willing to step into the biggest version of yourself. So write it out, whatever that stretch goal is, and then I want you to write 3 positive statements that you can get behind. And I want you to say them 3 times a day, every day this week. Doesn't matter if they're in the morning, at night. I like to do mine in the morning, and then I like to do it again in the middle of the day sometimes. If I've got a little off track, I use them to true myself back up. And then I do them before I go to bed sometimes, because then they're with me for 8 hours and they become part of me a little differently. So write a stretch goal out this week. Write 3 positive statements you can get behind, and then say them 3 times a day, every day this week. And when I do this, my experience is I feel sparklier, feel more like more good comes into me. I feel more attractive to good in the world and to things that magically align in very, very different ways, okay? So on the phone line, press *2 if you've got a question. I'm going to go back over to our webcast and the Q&A over there. Great. It looks like we are complete on the webcast Q&A. Phone lines are real quiet today, but that's okay. We love you. I see we've got people from Atlanta, Illinois, New York, California, looks like maybe Canada as well, Texas, let's see, New Mexico. So there's quite a few people. I'm really excited to see that. I'm really glad that we're able to join you on Facebook Live. For everybody who's been used to watching the webcast or listening to the webcast, there's a very good chance that we are going to go to just phone lines and the Facebook Live feed. We are leaving the Facebook Lives from the shows up on our Facebook page. So that is Products to Profits. Let me just pop that up on the screen for everybody. Let's see. Oh, I don't have it. But if you are on the Facebook Live and you want to get reminders of when we're going to be doing the show, when the next live one is, then I'd really encourage you to sign up for the list, okay? We don't send a whole lot of email. We do send one the morning of the show and usually a few days before the show, letting you know what the upcoming topic is. So you can, on Facebook, I just put the link up. It's productstoprofits.com/business-show. So you can put that up and take that, go over to the website, sign up for this. And what I would really appreciate is if you can share the show out. Share it out to people that need to hear this for their product, that are busy kind of just namby-pambying around and they really need a little bit of support getting into movement. And then first and foremost, last, everything, get support for your business. You are not meant to be doing this alone. You are meant to be working with people that have done it before, that have been around the block, so you don't have to go through off the Grand Canyon cliff, okay? We've been doing product a real long time and have worked on products that have done $300 million in sales in 3 years, down to products that are, first year in sales, they do $1 million. We have clients that are licensing, selling their businesses, growing their businesses. It really is an important creative moment that you're in, and it deserves your time, attention, and your resources. So with that, everybody, I'm going to wrap for today. I'm just taking a look at the time. Remember, your words have power, and who you're choosing to be in the world is an example that other people are seeing. They're looking to you for vision and guidance. So with that, have a good rest of your day. I hope this has been helpful for you. And I just want you all to know you're near and dear to our hearts and you're loved. Jeff and I pray for all of our clients and for your success and happiness and health for you and your families every day. So with that, just go live boldly. Just bold declaration. Who do you want to be in the world? And go that direction. All right? I love you, and I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.